and welcome to the ASMR review show. For this video, we are once again continuing our journey through the Metal Gear Solid franchise with Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, my favorite of the Metal Gear Solid games. I know that is not a very, that's not an unpopular opinion. I like Metal Gear Solid 3. But we'll be playing on normal difficulty, the normal way to play normal. Yeah, so this is my favorite one. At the end of the World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War. Alright then, here we go. Yeah, some people have debates. I think some people also really like Metal Gear Solid 2. But again, that one I enjoyed, it just wasn't my favorite. Some people are also pretty partial to the original Metal Gear Solid, no messing with the original. I don't think I've really heard anyone say that 4 is the best, and I think a lot of people have a soft spot for 5, but I think 3 is the most popular one when it comes to what's the best one in the series. So, yeah. That's what this is, and we are in a prequel. It is Metal Gear Solid 3, but this is actually set before all of the Metal Gear Solid games in 1964. What is that, 51 years or so before the first Metal Gear Solid, which was in 2005. Yeah, so this game is 60 years ago, 1964. And I love it so much because this was the first Metal Gear Solid game I actually played. I think that's what's so brilliant about this one, is that it works as a prequel and it works as, another installment in the franchise, but I do feel that this would also be a good place to start if you hadn't any other prior involvement with the franchise, because that's what I did. This was basically a friend of mine was like, oh, I played this game called Metal Gear Solid 3 and it was like really good, and he told me a few other things about how in-depth it was, but I didn't really pay attention. And then I was at like EB Games or whatever, and they had it there for cheap on the PS2 back in the day. This would have been around, I want to say 2006, 2007, I believe. I think 2006, actually, yeah, because Metal Gear Solid 4 hadn't come out yet, and there wasn't really news of it yet on the horizon, at least, trailers. So I think it would have been around there. So I bought it, and I played it, and I loved it. I got really invested in it. It was a very fun experience. And that just got me into the franchise, because that Metal Gear Solid 4 came out, so, we played that one when it came out on the PS3. And yeah, but despite as loving the franchise as much as I have, and knowing, the story and details, again, up until this series, I had not played any other Metal Gear Solid game in full by myself. I'd already played bits and pieces, watched playthroughs, watched Let's Plays. Yeah, so pretty interesting in that regard. Of course, I haven't really talked about this intro, but it's a fun intro. Halo jump sequence, which I feel like was a big inspiration for the Halo jump in Mission Impossible Fallout. Very fun way to start it all off. And again, very 1960s, Halo jumps. The original idea about the Fulton recovery system is mentioned here, of firing the skyhook, which, that's in, of course, The Dark Knight. And it becomes a thing in Peace Walker, directed by Hideo Kojima in a Hideo Kojima game. So, we won't be showcasing all of the intro to the game, because we don't need to do all of the cutscenes, right? We're just going to get the essential bits here. We're here for the bosses and a little bit of the story, but if I did all of that, we would be here for far too long, so we're not going to worry about that. But yeah, that was my, intro into the franchise there, so there's a fun little history. So I guess there's also a bit of a nostalgia factor to it, but even when replaying all of these games back to back, it's like, no, this is the best one for me. It just fits in so well in there. I feel it was like the best balance of gameplay to cutscenes. It was a thing that people have criticized. Metal Gear Solid 2 and 4 specifically, I found, had not really the best balance of the gameplay to cutscenes. I think Metal Gear Solid 1 was pretty good for that, because that felt like a good balance. Like the gameplay and the cutscenes were like about of a similar length, so it kind of felt that like it was again all killer, no filler. 2, again, I feel like there was a lot of really lengthy parts to it, and it would be like walk through a room, have another cutscene, sneak past 2 guys, have another cutscene, and then especially in the end, very little for gameplay. But again, also the parts weren't too extended, and they were all pretty good, very memorable. Like we had the big long torture sequence in 2, and then just one quick room of sneaking past guys while you were naked riding. But it was very memorable because of all of those AI conversations, and then 2 fights with Snake and all the other guys, and then a boss fight. Like every little bit was very good. Whereas like in Metal Gear Solid 4, I found some of those little bits in between the cutscenes were not as memorable, like the fight through Outer Haven, not really that great of a big fight. The Screaming Mantis boss fight, very fun. But then the hallway leading up to the microwave hallway, not kind of great. Like, just tons of those, what do they call them, scarabs? The little weird, like, mechanical balls with, like, the very realistic human hands. Also, superhero landing, yay. Yeah, wasn't really a fan of that. So, not too into it, but this one, I think, was the best balance. It's got a very long intro, but then once it gets going, and there's a lot longer bits. And here we go. Man, the myth, the legend himself. This is Naked Snake before he was Big Boss. And of course still voiced by David Hayter. And this, I think, is the best looking Snake, at least from what I've seen in the games. I mean, his look in 2 was pretty good, as Solid Snake, of course. These are different characters, because this is not Solid Snake. So yeah, I like him a lot. Now, the first boss fight, of course, is Ocelot, but we have this fun encounter with him earlier, and I had to give a shout out to this because, of course, this is the part when I'm playing through the game where I get all scared. I'm not ready for a boss fight yet. And there's just so much memorable dialogue in this that's been memed and referenced throughout the series that, like, I had to include it, even if we're mainly focusing on bosses. Because, yeah, this is a young Ocelot before he was Revolver Ocelot. Back when he was still working with regular, pistols instead of revolvers. And, they make fun of his CQC stance, which is funny because the CQC was mainly a thing introduced in this one. It's really just the idea of you being able to, like, hold a gun and a knife and effortlessly switch between guns and melee combat. And there's a lot of cool bits you can do with that, right? It's not really a thing in 1 and 2, so it is kind of funny how then all of a sudden Solid Snake knows it. Just like how it was so weird how Solid Snake is visiting the grave of the boss. Like, he doesn't know that character, really. I don't know. But it's one of those things you don't think about. You just accept it for the emotional moment. I also like how the cutscenes are all, rendered real-time in-game so that you can have different face paint and camo on it, so that's pretty cool. And here we go. Fun takedown of Ocelot. And I'm pretty sure this bullet here, he keeps around his necklace for the game. And if I recall, this is the blank, right? So, like, he wasn't actually going to try to kill us here. I don't know. And here we go, Snake doing his whole classic over-explaining thing, you know, the classic, you know, Kojima dialogue. And, you know, here we go, this is where he is unintentionally setting up, like, his, not really arch rival, right? That's more of a VAR technique. It's pretty funny. And yeah, there we go, some more classic CQC from Snake. Oh yeah. You think he's a rival up until the end. And of course, here's where he ends up giving Ocelot his classic line. That was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good. Pretty good. And thus a catchphrase was born. I think it was also cool when I met David Hayter. He was doing that to everybody that left his booth. Like, you'd come up, like, take a photo, get something signed. He would say, like, oh, and one more thing. You're pretty good. So I said, thanks, boss, to that. And I think he liked that. But anyway, it was fun. The funny thing also I love doing during this scene is that here you can actually kill Ocelot if you want. Just toss a grenade and boom, there we go. There's a trophy that pops up. Problem solved. Series over. And then Campbell from the future comes in like, Snake, what have you done? You changed the future. You've created a time paradox. God damn it, Snake. When are you gonna learn that your actions have consequences? You can't just go around changing the future like that. And then the letters slowly fade and then say time paradox because, you know, we killed Ocelot. The funny thing is the actual problem solved series over would have been if Snake just went and shot Major Zero on the plane at the very beginning, because Major Zero is the one who ends up behind it all. So now we have the epic title intro, which of course we are including. We've got to. It's the Snake Eater theme. This is the best James Bond song that was not written for a James Bond film, as so many have pointed out. I think what makes this such a cool intro is that this does not play when you first start up the game if you have not gotten to this sequence yet. It doesn't play until the end of the Virtuous mission, which of course has that big dramatic end where the boss betrays us and takes her and the Cobra unit, steals the nuke, gives it to this evil guy, Colonel Volgin. We get our ass beat and he launches a nuke, and we see the nuclear device going off, and that fades into this intro. And I think it's really great. It was taking the idea of there being a opening mission and a main mission from Metal Gear Solid 2, which was of course the tanker and plant segments, but kind of streamlining them a bit. The Virtuous mission is not very long. There's not too much to it. And then we have the main one, which is Snake Eater, you know, as detailed by this very amazing song. And, you know, everyone talks about it in the ladder sequence, and we'll get to that. I did include the ladder, of course. The ladder's the best boss in the game. And, yeah, it's just such a fun, stylized intro, and they never really did anything like this ever again, did they? At least not of the games I've played. So, yeah, pretty epic in that regard. Love it so much. And then when you load up the game every time, then it starts playing. And you can do fun things to mess around with the credits, but I wanted to leave it unaltered, as is. The only criticism I have of the intro is that Snake's connection to the boss, while it is kind of established, I feel so much of it is done through the optional codec calls. And there are so many great hidden ones that I never even knew about, but that's just, again, what's great about this game is you can keep playing it and uncover new details, and you know, wow, they actually thought, what happens if you call this character when you're holding this weapon, or what happens if you know, get poisoned and call someone. Like, there's a conversation for everything, and that level of detail in an older game is really great. So there we go. This is Snake Eater. Oh yeah. Then let's get right into it. Operation Snake Eater, because we, Snake, are defeating all of the other Cobras. So the first battle is the proper boss fight against the newly christened Revolver Ocelot. He's been practicing his gunplay and stuff, and now he does use revolvers, and I think that's kind of cute, It's like he doesn't want to admit it, but here we are. And he says twice we've beaten him, because there's the bit where the other GRU operatives show up. Oh yeah, we beat him in another cutscene, and that's the cutscene where you have to defeat his guys when they're attacking you and Eva in your first meeting. So now it's the real fight. And this one, I feel like the trick is once again just, shoot him until he dies. I went with the tranquilizer for this fight because it feels more lore accurate. We don't actually kill him here. And I was trying to remember at this point what goodies you got from defeating the bosses by stamina kill. It's mainly just extra camos that you get, so I didn't bother with it for most of the fights. But I decided to do it for Ocelot here at first. So here we go. He's got 12 shots now. And I love how, once again, they bring back the whole, the thing from Metal Gear Solid 1, where his ammo count is displayed on screen so you can tell when he's reloading. Which is very nice, you don't actually have to count the shots. The game does it for you, so that was nice of it. Here we go. Draw. Oh, no, not yet. Dramatic pause. Okay, and draw. There we go. So here we go. Good old-fashioned boss fight. The one thing is I have cut out all of the random pausing in the menu. So if you see my guns magically change or I somehow heal injuries, that's how I did that. Because the video is long enough already. I don't think I will be short on, having footage to talk about. So I've just cut out the menu stuff. And I know for some people it's a complaint that instead of just, opening the items and scrolling over to rations, that you have to, oh, is that a snake? Here we go. That you have to actually go into the menu, pause, and then equip certain items or unequip items, or, do the whole cure healing thing. But I personally didn't mind that. There we go, now I gotcha. I don't know, it's like, you'd think it would be something obtrusive, but it ends up feeling quite, accurate. Oh, tension, huh? Well, you're making that motion. Yeah, you really like loading that gun, alright. Remember, sometimes a revolver is just a revolver. Yeah, so I never found it too obtrusive of a system. It just made sense to me. The only thing that I found tricky was sometimes the aiming in first person, and as you can see, my accuracy is not that great. And I found that the trick was the aiming to where I wanted to be rather than where I was looking. You'll see I'm also playing this with the proper third-person camera, because of course that was introduced in the re-release of Metal Gear Solid 3, referred to as subsistence, right? And for me, I don't know how people feel about it, if it's game-breaking, but I played the original Metal Gear Solid 3, so I played it with the fixed camera, and it was weird because I just sort of played that, and, oh, that's the way the game is, and I just accepted it. And then when I heard about the Subsistence re-release, and it was mentioned about how it had a proper, like, third-person camera, somehow in my brain I'd forgotten what the camera was like. Like, I thought, oh, that's the version I played, and then I realized, well, no, actually it isn't. And now here he steps up to do a duel here. Now, I don't know if I just drew too slowly, or that he outdrew me here, so I don't know if I did it right, or if I was, like, waiting, like, what are we supposed to do? Oh, okay. Did I do it too fast or wrong? I don't know, but he says you fool, but I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know, the camera never bothered me, but I figured, well, I've played the game before with, like, the original camera, because it was the original release, so now was the chance for me to do it properly, and god damn it, I got bit by a snake. Got poisoned. Let's heal that through the power of editing now, shall we? There we go. Yeah, so I never found the pausing obtrusive, and I liked the backpack system because, especially when we got to Metal Gear Solid 2, you probably noticed in the footage for that it got a little, there was, like, so much going on there, like, too many items to cycle through. It just got crazy, and, you'd have old items in there. Oh, I don't have my gun equipped. That's bad. Too many items to cycle through would just get distracting, and then once again, you can call people up on your radio and they'll give you battle tips, which is nice. The healing system also, I'm pretty sure the way that you heal is that, like the game, like, you can heal your cures, like your severe injuries, but then the more you let yourself, like, naturally heal over time, like, the more your health gets better, I think. I thought it was from, like, the more food you eat, but I'm not sure exactly, because of course we see by the end of the game that, like, my health bar is larger, so it's kind of a bit of a weird hidden mechanic, I find. And of course these are the bees. Okay, let's just get it out of our system now. Oh god, the bees. Oh god, not the bees. They're everywhere. They're in my eyes. Ah. There we go. We've done that. Nicolas Cage, the Wicker Man, of course. Killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey. There we go. It's done with. What's in the bag? A shark or something? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? I don't know. Also, Mad Lad Ocelot there, just killing bees by spinning revolvers. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, these are the bees of the Pain, who's the next Cobra we will be fighting. This causes us to have to jump into the chasm here. And yeah, now we are there where it's all dark, and we can use mushrooms to recharge our batteries. And I love the conversation of, hey, I ate a mushroom. You recharged my battery. What? That doesn't make any sense. And here we have the good old zombie face paint. Yeah, the ghost face paint, right? It just, shout out to one of my favorite metal bands. And yes, here we go. We have the Pain, Sons of the Boss. Yeah, so I really like the boss fights in this one. They've all got, like, a different style to them, and there's a bit of a trick to beating them. Some of them you can just go with the good old shoot it till it dies method, but some of them there's a little bit more strategy involved. The Pain was the one that I had forgotten, so I think this fight took me the longest in terms of figuring it out. And it's basically just whenever he has his shield of bees that you have to use shotguns or grenades to, like, get rid of them, and then try to save yourself by jumping in the water. So again, there'll be cuts in this fight for when I am either healing, eating, or changing weapons, but again, you don't need to see me cycling through the menus too often, and I think I also cut out a little bit where I ended up having a bit of a hard time figuring out, if there's a long stretch of me, like, just messing around and not doing any damage, we're not going to bother including that. We don't need all of it. And here we go. He's got his bee shield, and what's he doing? He's like just like conducting an orchestra. Is he what's his name? Uncle Leland from Twin Peaks, Mersey notes and does it notes and little lambs and ivy, kiddly what to do, or whatever he says. I don't know. But yeah, so shotguns, grenades, that's basically the trick, and you have a couple different platforms to work with. So overall, it's a fun fight. I think it might be one of my lesser ones of the Cobra unit, because it's just like, oh, he's a dude that has bees. Not much to it. Like, I like the fear. He's pretty cool. He's basically Predator, but he's too easy, But we'll see what I mean by that. So this is where I was wondering, do I need to wait until the shield's down? I don't know exactly, or use grenades. But eventually I think we get the idea. And then the grenade throwing is a little tricky because, like the way you do it, right? And then now I have bees on me. Oh god, not the bees. There we go. That's something. Yeah, so essentially the fight is wearing him down. The other thing I forgot to do is that I guess if you call your weapons expert Singit after the fights, okay, come on, let's go. Gotta get it properly there. Get back up there. If you call him afterwards, he gives you a bit of lore on the guys, and I forgot to do that. So to me, they're just dudes that have special powers because the plot says so, which is how it is. I don't really get why people get so worked up on the hows and the whys of the way things work, or such and such makes no sense, or is too over the top. Like, this is a very strange universe we're in that has a very both good sort of campiness quality to it, in that we have, like, hardcore, hardcore serious conversations about, like, governmental control, politics, PMCs, spray and pray, baby. Come on. There we go. Oh, phase 2. What happens in phase 2? What does he do? He takes off his mask and he doesn't start spitting verses, he starts spitting hornets. Yeah, so you have, serious things like that, but then you also got a dude that shoots hornets out of his mouth, and they have, like, the Stuka dive bombing sounds. What? Yeah, so that's how it is, It's, ow. It's pretty fun in that regard, which I like. So, that's just Metal Gear for you, it's all kinds of craziness back and forth, and that's just what we love about it. It sort of makes sense, it sort of doesn't, and I missed my chance again. That's not so nice. And he released pheromones. The other thing I completely forgot is that the bug juice also works here. I kind of thought is the bug juice more for, like, getting rid of leeches, things like that, but it actually works quite well against the bees. So who would have known? Again, fishing for fishies down. Sorry, King Gizzard. Yeah, so there's a lot of little things. That's what I like, is that you can brute force your way through fights, but if you know, like, the secret tactic, it makes it all the more easier. So I like that. There we go. That's doing something, I think. Is it? No? Is it too far away? Is this going through the video game version of a shotgun where they have the, like, less range than, I don't know, the length of a Subway 6-inch sandwich? Where was I going with that metaphor? I don't know. Yeah, so he's a bit of a tedious fight in that regard. And the other thing I love about this is that there's a lot less repetition of environments, because again, you're always like moving forward in this one. Come on, you. Oh, are you kidding? That's not fair. Like, in Metal Gear Solid 1, you end up backtracking to a lot of places. There we go. You end up backtracking to a lot of places in Metal Gear Solid 1. Metal Gear Solid 2 is a lot of backtracking and a lot of very familiar, samey environments, all claustrophobic, industrial lookingness. But here, we're in the jungle. It's always changing, there's always something new. You don't really know what's around another corridor. The only place with any really sort of backtracking or familiarity to it is the Groznygrad facility, which would make sense. So that gets a lot of bonus points for me in that regard. And that was the pain. Next up, I have to showcase, of course, the funny way in which you can kill the end early. I mean, he's just sitting there, and you can just spam him with a sniper rifle, and then he takes his revenge by hitting you with his wheelchair. Yeah, go figure. I think it's fun that you can do that, but obviously we're not going to really do that. We're going to reload from an earlier save, because why would you deprive yourself of the ability to fight the boss himself at the end? And next up, we have the Fear. He's a pretty cool boss. Again, gives me Predator vibes in that he's, got camouflage and hops around fast in trees, and he has traps, uses arrows that drain your stamina. The fun thing is, though, is that if you don't remove the arrows in the fight, they're stuck in you forever, so don't forget to do that. It would be very unfortunate. And there's a lot of fun things you can do with him. Like, if he runs out of stamina, he needs to go eat food. So if you leave, like, poisonous food around, he'll go and eat it, and it'll damage him even more. And I love his voice. His style's really cool. It's too bad we don't get that crossbow, though. That would have been fun. There's one big downside to this fight, and you shall see it, but it's that this fight, at least for me, is way, way, way too easy. Because he has one big weakness, and it's called thermal goggles. It's funny how he's meant to be like the Predator, and the trick is you defeat him with Predator vision, the infrared. Yeah, so you'll see, I don't think I took a single step in this boss fight. I just simply stayed still and then used the tranquilizer and, profit. So here we go. Thermal goggles and tranquilizer gun, and don't even need to bother with the silencer. Apparently stun grenades work very well. I'm like, where is he? Oh, okay, he's over here. So now I just... Oh, now you're there. Okay, well, let's just take advantage of that. Like, this was literally the fight. Was he hopped around in trees, didn't take one shot at me, and I spammed him with tranks. And that's it. I also like how the game has, like, the manual reloading, but also just you can do the quick reload. Kind of fun. You see what I mean? That's it. Like, I don't get it. Did I get really good RNG in him? Did his AI glitch out on me? Did I just unlock the hidden strategy? I don't know, but whatever I did, it worked, so that's it. Scratch one, Fear. Yeah, now I stealth killed or trank killed him because his camo gives you like automatic 80% camo index regardless, but it drains your stamina rapidly. Also, I can't get over how that was like a stock scream sound effect. There's like that scream, I hear it and I just think of Metropolis Part 2, Scenes from a Memory by Dream Theater. That certain scream, you know, from the song Finally Free. Just can't think of anything else other than that. So, now we get to the end. The end is one of the coolest boss fights ever in gaming. There is so much cool stuff to do with this fight, and it's just such a unique style of a typical boss fight, especially in these games. Something you wouldn't normally expect, and that's why I love it, and we all love it. I think it's definitely, the community holds this fight in high regard, because he is a legendary 100-year-old sniper, barely clinging on to life anymore. And he's very creepy. His eyes are gross. And he mainly fights you in this battle of attrition. He uses a sniper rifle that has trank bullets that will continue to drain your stamina, to drain your resources. I think it's really cool, though, that you only need the knife to remove the trank darts. So that is cool. So you're not burning through your healing resources too much. I never actually had a problem with the healing resources in this game. I'm not sure if that's something other people have had trouble with, but it did not really apply to me. So, definitely a real fun fight because there's so many tricks you can do with this. First of all, the main thing is, well, I showed you how you could take him out earlier, right? So you don't even have to fight him. But again, why would you want to do that? Then the other thing you can do is if you save the game and then come back like a week later, you find out the end has died of old age. And the game kind of warns you, like, Snake, I don't know, I have a feeling something bad might happen, just don't be gone too long, okay? And then, Snake's just like, man, I feel kind of bad. Guy wanted to have one last sniper duel with me, and I totally robbed him with that. Man, I suck. And, there's a lot of build-up, right? Because I think he's one of the only fights where they give you a heads up the fight's about to happen. Eva calls you several locations before to say, hey, I've heard he's waiting up ahead for you, be ready. I like how, you can see the reflection off of his sniper scope up ahead. There's so many great things you can do. So the first thing we're going to try to do is sneak up on him and hold him up so we can get his camo and a couple extra goodies. And hopefully a few free shots. Because he is pretty good there. I don't know if you saw it, but that was his sniper reflection. The other thing you can do in this fight is if you shoot his parrot, you can capture it and then it'll find its way back to him and show you where he's hiding. So that's pretty good. There's so many great fun details in this fight. And it is a lengthy one, so I think I'm going to cut out a few little bits here and there, maybe some of the wandering around, because it doesn't make for too interesting of a video. But yeah, there he is. Just got a stealth by, right? The camo index working very nicely here. I definitely feel the stealth is improved a lot in this game because you have the camouflage system, which is nice, and you have grass you can hide in. You can just hide down out on the floor. I felt it was a good balance, whereas the stealth in the other games can be more so a matter of just simply staying outside the guy's line of vision, right? Not necessarily using the environment. to your advantage. But the main trick is, yeah, you need to go through the different areas and then find your way up around here, and that will get you to behind the spot where he's been camping out at, which gives you a chance to hold him up. As that's the trick, is if you pull out your gun while you're really close to a guy, like Snake, like it's all like freeze, hands in the air, then you can say, come on, give up your stuff. The other thing I found easier for the stealth in this game is that if you use the directional buttons, you do like, a crouch walk of sorts, right? So that you, I see you, man. So that you don't alert enemies, which is very nice. That's why I really liked the CQC in this game. The issue I had with the other games was not being able to properly grab a guy. I just kept doing judo throws. Alright, freeze. How did you... Yeah, I have my methods. You kind of have to gesture, like, come on, man. Come on, give it here. Come on, my man. Take it, let me give it. It's like, alright, fine. Take it. So there's his uniform. Then I thought you could just hold him up to his stamina runs out, but he gets sick of it. I'm like, oh, well, damn it. Alright, the chase begins. Here we go. So, I honestly found a simple trick was basically running around until I found him again, And there we go. This is a good way to get 3 easy shots on him and take out his stamina. And then he runs away again and uses a flashbang. Let's see. The other thing I didn't realize was that the thermal goggles show his footprints. Well, it was something I found out later in the fight, but for the first bit I didn't. So yeah, I honestly found a trick if I couldn't find where he was just run around, and then once he snipes me, I have a general idea of, okay, well, he saw me from this direction here, so I know he must be somewhere else around there. There we go. Oh, okay, he got me. Yeah, I see where you are now. I got you sussed out. So yeah, again, I've also cut out the bits where I'm like healing or eating food to recover. So that's why you might see my health all of a sudden jump up with a quick cut there, because we don't need to waste our time scrolling through menus. And it's sort of like, oh, shoot, you saw me again. Yeah, there he is. He's a pretty good shot though, so we do have to watch out for that. But he might be good, but I'm better. Alright, let's wait until he loses track of me and keep going. Some people complain about having to constantly go in the menu and like change your camouflage to whatever best suits the environment, but I honestly found that most of the camos were kind of redundant. You either had just the black suit for night, and the zombie face paint worked pretty well, or you had like the woodland or those sort of green beret face paints for the jungle environments, and then the camo didn't matter as much in the other ones. But here I was trying to get up close, and I thought I would try to use the cigarette spray, but I think I was close enough to scare him with it, but not actually use it, because that did not work. And then he barrel stuffed me with his gun, so that's nice. And I missed again and got flashed. And he is faster than you. The blind firing's not good, but usually if he's running away, this is your best chance to try to, aim at him there. Thankfully, he thought the best idea would be to take up shop in a very nearby area. So, we're getting there. There we go. It's a nice thing, if you usually can hit him with a shot, you'll get an easy 3 more shots in on him. Now, he does some sort of thing about photosynthesis, which is to recover stamina. Now, I wasn't paying too much attention to his stamina bar, so I can't really tell if that worked, but I know he's close by over there. The funny thing was, I don't know if you've watched carefully, but somehow there's this, like, one of them, not a yak or something like that, but one of them sort of goat-like creatures actually perfectly blocked the camera so I couldn't see where he was, and he got an easy shot on me, like, that's him right there, but I didn't notice. And then it was sort of like around here where that perfectly blocked my view of him, so I didn't see that he was, like, right there in front of me. God damn it. And I got flashed again. Wonderful. So, yeah, it's basically meant to be like an attrition battle, because I don't know how exactly you would die in this fight, per se, because he doesn't do any lethal damage to your health. I think it would just be to drain your resources. Also, this bit was annoying because I got too close to the wall, so I auto-crouched instead of... And yep, I got it. Son of the boss. Well, look, I am, it's just... You know, I have some lousy hit detection with the hitboxes and all that. But you, my friend, forgot the... Oh, and my gun's not equipped. Not again. This fight can be a little frustrating if you go through large stretches without being able to shoot him. Aha. There you go. I got your number. Not too shabby indeed. And this is where I was realizing, oh, the thermal goggles show his footprints. Well, this fight just got a hell of a lot easier. So yeah, I've also heard there's a thing where if you're, like, stuck, like looking around for too long, there's the footprints, that he can just sneak up behind you and insta-kill you. And I've almost had that happen to me. I remember in my very first playthrough, I was very scared, and so I spent the first bit of the fight, like, just looking around through my sniper. I spotted him, and he, oh, there we go. Good. Bit more shots in, that's good. I spotted him, but then he saw that I had seen him, so then he got me. And I unequipped my gun. Wonderful. God damn it. And he's gone. And then while I was looking around again, I could, like, hear his panting, like, behind me. So I quickly threw a stun grenade down and got the heck out of dodge. But I've heard that he can just, like, if he gets a real good sneak up behind you, that he will just insta-kill you. So, again, this is what I've heard, but I've never had that happen to me specifically. But yeah, you're no match for me now. I know all of your tricks. So yeah, again, I've cut the fight down a little bit, but it is a very fun one. And oh, hello. There you are. Here I was like, can I get the shot off at him? Nope, he's gonna get away before I can, and I got stunned again. God damn it. Oh, nope, and I wasted another shot there. Okay. Now once again, we've picked up the trail. This is really fun. It's weird. There's this whole bit in Metal Gear Solid 4 where they talk about you have to follow the footprints and be one with the jungle. Move slowly, respect your pace and all that, but none of it really amounts to much. There we go. Perfect pixel peak. And this is where I realized, oh, well, shoot, I'm out of tranquilizer bullets. And he's got 1 HP in a dream. What do I do now? How am I gonna get him down? I don't know what else I could do that would reduce his stamina. Right? I don't have any other tranquilizer guns. Would CQC work? I don't know. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Did I just waste all that time? Okay, he's right there. This is his original spot. Well, I have the cigarette spray. What if I tried this again? Let's see. Just gotta be creeping up behind you very carefully. And yes, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to kill the end with a cigarette. Remember, kids, smoking kills. Night night. Today, smoking is going to save my life. And that's that. That was the end fight. It's a very epic one indeed, and really love it a lot. I don't feel like we got so many more unique fights in the series, though, after this, because most of the BB units in Metal Gear Solid 4 involve, shoot it until it dies. Screaming Mantis, I felt, was the only one that actually had, like, some fun, unique gimmicks to it. And then the Fury is also a shoot it until it dies fight. Volgin has some fun strategy to him. And the boss, well, I feel like I didn't do that fight very well because I didn't know how you were supposed to do the CQC timing for that fight. So I just used sniper rifle. But it involved stealth, so I think the boss would appreciate that. We'll see. But then his jaws popped out. Okay. And then he exploded. That's interesting. Yeah. So that just happened. And then he has some control over the forest. And that makes it so that the next place opens up to us. But yeah, he's a very good fight, and I always want to fight him legit. It's just, yeah, I'm not really sure what the challenge would come from, because you can just get tranked and then pull them out right away. Maybe if you did really bad, but I don't know. So, not much for challenge. Yes, now of course, we come to it, probably the most memed moment in the entire series. Yes, here we have the ladder boss fight. And I remember the first time I did this, I was kind of confused. I thought, like, did my game break? Why is the ladder? There we go. We want the original camera angle. The fixed camera is what everyone knows it for. Yeah, like, did the game break? What's going on with the loading? Why is there this singing? Why is there the theme song going on? I thought that was odd. And now, of course, every time there's a long ladder in a Souls game, you have to leave down a message like visions of Snake, or reminiscent of Snake. Or also, if there's like a wooden bridge, like the wooden bridge from the Virtuous Mission, you gotta leave down a note there. And it's funny, it's a very memed bit, but what is it all about? Well, to me, this is just like kind of the intermission of the game, per se. This is the, okay, time to change discs moment, right? You always have those kind of moments of reprieve, like after the sadness of the Sniper Wolf fight in 1. 2 doesn't really have a disc swap moment, I find, though, per se. I'm not sure where you would put the disc swap into. Maybe after the Harrier fight. But yeah, this is the intermission, essentially. And I like it. It's fun. We all meme about it, but I'd say it's nicely placed. We're ascending to a higher area, and it's pretty fun. Snake Eater. Yep. Best boss in the series, best game of all time. Now we get to the Fury, who is an interesting fight for me, because I don't recall struggling with him much in my original playthrough. I mainly just remember running around in circles and using the shotgun. But here, he's probably actually the boss fight that gave me the most run for my money, because I made it basically up to this entire point in the game without using any healing items, because you don't get rations anymore for healing your health. You have items to heal your stamina, and then your health regenerates naturally at a rate that is increased when your stamina is at maximum. Which does make it tricky if you run into trouble during a fight. You essentially have to just, not die. But you do get life medicine, and I didn't find much of it. Also, funny that this guy is Richard Doyle, who goes on to voice Big Boss at the end of Metal Gear Solid 4. Yeah, he went to space and had one vision, the world set ablaze. So, does that mean that he inherited the frenzied flame? I don't know. I also think of his constant interjecting of his own lines by, causing explosions and fire. Is he Tim the Enchanter from Monty Python and the Holy Grail? There are some who call me Tim? He pulled at Kirsten Stewart and turned declarative sentences into questions. Or maybe he was just doing the good old Canadian rise. Yeah, so I don't really know what the trick to this fight is, because, he leaves a lot of fire around everywhere, and, he can just, take off down an entire aisle. So, I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, you'll see I did not do too great in this fight, personally. I feel it was not a good performance for me. I was, constantly losing health. I used almost all of my life medicine on just this one fight. Yeah, no, not very good, which is odd, because I remember, struggling to figure out how to beat the pain originally, and then the fear. I remember, not knowing about the thermal goggles, so just running around, but that worked out quite well. And then I mainly remember using the shotgun a lot, so I thought I would try that again here, but no, I guess actually the sniper rifle is a good way to go. And this is what I mean, I guess sniper rifle is the trick, because, you're down a long hallway. I don't know. I just remember using the shotgun for the first time a lot in this fight, in my original playthrough. I don't really remember how I beat the end in my original playthrough. I just mainly remember that memorable bit of, spotting him through the sniper scope. And I essentially did the whole, bleep exclamation point over my head, right as he did it, but then, he got me first. I got. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know exactly. I just feel like this guy is, the most overt I want you dead guy, which I guess makes sense. He's the Fury. Just creeping around the corner. There we go. And now I realize, wait, I'm not serpentining now. I'm the one that's in trouble. This is going to be bad. So, yeah, I think he's a cool fight, but just maybe one of the, I don't want to say least interesting fights in the game, but oh, god damn it. Now you got me. Yeah, he just keeps leaning into you. Spray and pray. The Pain's got the whole bees thing. He's pretty cool. Ocelot, of course, is fun. While the Fear is an easy fight, he's cool in terms of being oh, he's like Predator, and he's invisible, and he jumps around, and you can feed him bad food. But here, oh, and then the end, of course, obviously, but here I'm kind of well, he's a dude in a suit, and you dodge his attacks, and you shoot him with the bullets until he stops moving. I don't really know what the fun tricks or gimmicks are to him. But I like his design. That, 60s astronaut thing going on. And this is, you get hit in the fire, and then you burn for a bit later, and, well, where do I go? I just feel, oh god, I'm doing bad. I feel like he's the personification. Oh, that's all it heals. That was nothing. Yeah, this boss fight is basically like the, this is fine meme. Like, what do I do? Where do I go? It's all on fire. This is fine. This is fine. Yeah, so, I don't know. If I was missing some kind of obvious, easy strategy on how to deal with him, I was unaware of it. You'll have to let me know what that was. Ignition. What does he do here now? I think he just leaves fire everywhere. He just goes crazy. I don't know. There we go. You're good. One might say pretty good. Yeah, and the environment's kind of tricky because, again, it's all long hallways, so, you don't have a real easy way to dodge around him. He just goes crazy with it. Oh, there we go. Alright. And, again, I got caught. So, you see what I mean? I feel like I really brute forced my way through this fight, per se. But that's okay, that's what the life medicine is for. God damn it. Yeah, maybe next time I'll use the sniper rifle. We'll see how better that works out. And now I'm on fire even more, and I've used all my life medicine. Save me, iframes. You're my only hope. Okay, come get some. Where are you? Can I snipe you with shotgun? Yes, I can. Get shotgun sniped. So, that's that. So that was a thing. And that's it. He's the last Cobra. But a bit anticlimactic, I feel, personally, though. I mean, I guess he's technically not the last one, though, because there's the Sorrow. But he's a boss fight, but not in the traditional sense. He's kind of his own thing, and in a unique way, but still pretty cool, I'd say. And then he turns into like one of them fire demon head things from Doom. What do they call it? The Lost Souls or whatever. I don't know. But I guess we'll be seeing him again as a big boss. Yeah. Pretty cool death sequence, I'd say. They've all got pretty cool death sequences. And we got all like the classic radio control mission chatter going on, so that's fun. It's coming home like the space jockey, right? Yeah, like I say, I'm not trying to rag on too much. He's cool, but just, I don't know, not much. Maybe he's better than the Pain. I just feel like the Pain was, well, less of a pain. This guy's a little more furious with trying to have us dead, Yeah, I guess that tracks. And, yeah, now he's like the fire demon face from Harry Potter, is it? Or what am I thinking of again? I don't know. Something like that. Yeah. We haven't seen much of Eva in these cutscenes, but Eva's cool. I like how her whole, like, spexy look is like all a facade. Like, it is intentional to get you on her side more. And of course we've been captured and tortured. Wouldn't be a Metal Gear game without a torture sequence. Though this one is kind enough to spare you from all of the button mashing. And definitely Snake in this one, he gets real beat up bad, I feel like in every one he gets beat up worse and worse. Until Metal Gear Solid 4, where he's barely held together after that microwave hall sequence. And yeah, here we go. We have that scene from The Fugitive, right? They killed your wife. I didn't do it. I don't care. It's like the only scene I know from that movie. And here we have Ocelot again. Very interesting in that, he's your rival. He really wants to beat you, but like he was actually Adam, the other CIA agent NSA codebreaker the whole time. And again, this is where he was going to shoot you with the blank, right? Because that was all part of it, right? Like, this is the one he uses at the very end. He shoots you with a blank, but I don't know, there's kind of the whole thing in 6 shots, right? Which one is it? Yeah, there's kind of that whole thing where it's like, again, the whole thing of, oh, the villain actually wanted the hero to live, right? And I feel like he maybe does too good of a job of making it seem like he wants us dead, you know? And maybe it wasn't a good idea when they threw us in jail to leave us with our radio that could, you know, use a frequency. I also love the jail sequence. There's so many cool things you can do in it. You know, like you can make friends with the guard who's Johnny's father, I believe. And, you know, he also has some stomach problems. And, you know, he's like, my name's Johnny and my friend's Johnny. My son's gonna be named Johnny. Snake's like, hey man, do you think you could let me out of here? You can do that. You can use the fake death pill that the boss gave you. That's the first hint that she wants you to live as well. Because she shoots the fake death pill into your leg for you to dig out with the fork. Or you can use the frequency that the Sorrow gave to you. Many different ways, though. It sucks that they cut out that really cool dream sequence from the original PS2 Metal Gear Solid 3. You know, that would have been fun to include, but alas, it was due to some kind of copyright thing or how they wanted that to be like only in a demo for a game. I don't know. But here we have the Sorrow. So again, if you're wondering about the series being weird or things not making sense, here we have like literally a ghost. So there's ghosts and the afterlife and near-death experiences in this game. It's very weird in that way. But yeah, this is also such a great quote-unquote boss fight, per se. He's so interesting because there's so much history that is either inferred or implied and not explicitly stated. So the Sorrow was, of course, a member of the Cobra unit, and he was in love with the boss, and they had a child together. One whom the boss gave birth to, on Normandy during World War II. And that child was Ocelot. That's what it's heavily implied to be. So maybe that's where the whole original idea behind the arm, Liquid's arm possessing him came from. Well, he's already got the Sorrow kind of as part of his lineage, parentage. And I'm like, oh, he has no health bar. What do I do? I don't know. I can't shoot him. What am I supposed to do? Yeah, so that's very interesting. And then the boss killed him because she was like, that was her job and she's loyal. But then the other great thing about this is the whole time, the game kind of told you, try not to kill anyone, right? Try not to. Why? Because here's the thing. Everybody you kill in the game comes back as an enemy here to try to stop you from getting to the end. And as they get close to you, they start draining your life force a bit. So it's why originally, at the start of the game, I tried to... Who was that? I tried to go through the game with as little of a body count as possible. There came a point where I kind of stopped caring about that so much. But originally that was kind of the idea, is that I basically I spent the whole game preparing for this fight. In that I was trying not to kill anybody, and then of course here we have all the cobras here, of course. Even though we didn't kill them, they still died. And there's these weird, like, attacks he does to knock us down. So that's very interesting in that regard. I'm also wondering if the guys appearing in relation to the different cobras is also, like, relative to when I killed them throughout the game. And I know if you kill guys in certain ways, they'll appear that way. Like if you there's some way where if you like stung a guy to death with bees or something, like he shows up like still in that same way. There's some cool things regarding that. So I think that is cool for that way. There is actually, of course, a very easy way to get past this boss fight, and that is to simply drown yourself in the river or use grenades on yourself, like, first thing. Because the actual trick to the fight is that you have to use the fake death pill to revive yourself, right? Because this was all in your head. Or was it? I don't know. Was it real? Was it a dream? The funny thing is I didn't know that, so I got all the way to the end to the Sorrow's corpse, which I'm pretty sure that's what we see at the end, is the Sorrow's own corpse. And, touched it and died, and I thought, oh, okay, I must have done something wrong. And then it wasn't until, like, I think 2 or 3 times later that I realized, oh, you can still use the fake death pill. That makes sense. So, as we see here, we have a couple more guys before we get to the fear, right? And then, as they get close, they start draining your life energy. So, yeah, I don't know if you can swim this part to make it faster. I was kind of doing it for, like, the cinematic vibes. And there's a lot of dead fish here. Is that all the fish I murdered during the pain fight? Because there was a lot of dead fish. That's a lot of fish. I was also being cinematic about this because I was wanting to show my wife, like, the story of all these games, because it's like watching a movie. Let's see, here we had like a helicopter pilot, right? And I'm pretty sure I shot down a couple of those hind D's during the climb through the mountain sequence, so that might have been some of them. But yeah, I don't want to say this game's easier, but I found this was like the better balance of where, like, if I did get spotted, I could still make it work. Like, I didn't feel like if I got spotted, it was like, you know what, just kill me now, that's it, game over. Like, it actually felt like, okay, like, I've been spotted, now let's work with what we've got and make it happen. And I didn't like that in Metal Gear Solid 1, how it just felt like there was infinite guys spawning from right around the corridor. Like, you'd be in a room, and they would just keep coming in. And, oh, that's the end, and there's his parrot. Oops. You must be Ames. You must be Ames. So yeah, that's the thing. I think we're almost there. We gotta get through the Fury first, and here we see a couple of them scientists I killed because I meant to interrogate the dude and I accidentally knifed him. That's the one thing, is they don't make the buttons for the controllers like touch sensitive anymore. And I missed that from the original PlayStation 2, where it was like you could like hold down square, and then like if you pressed it like a little bit more, it would like respond to how much you squeezed it, and like that would determine whether you were doing like a choke, a strangle, an interrogation, or a knife throat slit. So I couldn't really figure out how to like grab and interrogate the scientists without like accidentally throwing them to the ground. So I never bothered with that whole like frequency thing. But yeah, that's the Fury. And he's a little upset. Yeah, I would struggle to think what it would be like if you had killed a lot of dudes. I mean, I don't think it matters too much, you know? Like, again, it's like, just like for extra bits, I think, again, you can just die at any point in the fight and use the revive pill. It's, the whole point is if you want to get his camo, which I don't know what it does, but in any case, we've made it to the end, and this, I'm pretty sure, is the Sorrow's own corpse, which kills us. You're like, what? What happened here? What do I do? Snake is dead. What's the trick? Well, the trick is, use the revival pill. It was actually all just a dream. It was all in our heads the whole time. And this is where we hear the memory of the boss having to kill the Sorrow. So it's interesting that, you know, she also had to go on her own mission where she killed someone she loved because it was her mission, right? The spirit of the warrior will always be with you. And yeah, so, you know, it's like poetry, it rhymes, because that's what we're going to have to do eventually. But yay, we made it. And also just such a fun bit, you know, again, we had the whole, you know, to get captured, beaten up badly right as we were right there about to do our objective. The torture sequence, you know, we lose our eye. This is why he has an eye patch. It's just really brutal, you know, almost kind of hard to watch. And especially when a lot of the other characters are powerless to stop it, right? And then, you know, we have that escape. We're getting absolutely wrecked. There's the Sorrow fight. And, you know, we have to barely sneak our way to safety with very minimal equipment to get our stuff back. Yeah, it's quite a harrowing bit. But that's what I love about this. Like, this really feels like, you know, like you were there and you got, you know, the crap beaten out of you and you're at your lowest point, but you keep pushing on through it. You build up your strength and you come back to win that big fight, and that's what we're gonna do. So now, of course, we are here back in Groznygrad, where we're gonna have a fight with Colonel Volgin at last. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Of course, the boss is going to, you know, take the Philosopher's Legacy and give it to Eva, but this one was a fake because Ocelot had it with him the whole time. And so, now, he wants to fight us, and I'm using this camo, which you find later on, and I don't know, I just thought it looked cool, and the whole stealth bit doesn't matter too much for the final bit, so we're just going for the aesthetics. And Eva here is undercover as Sokolov's wife, Tatiana. And here we're getting some more clues that something might be up with the boss, right? Because she saves Eva. And explains that, you know, she wants to have a final fight with Snake down at the docks, right? And this is where Ocelot, he's also starting to lose his patience with Volgin. But again, that's because he actually wants Snake to succeed in his objective. This is what I think is funny about this sequence, or the torture sequence, is that, like, in that moment, everybody in the room wants to kill Volgin for their own reasons. Ocelot wants to kill him, the boss wants to kill him, Eva wants to kill him, and Snake wants to kill him, but none of them know that's what the other one wants. And this is where you think, oh, it's going to be another fight with Ocelot, and we're going to do more fancy gun twirling, right? Nope. Volgin's like, look, enough of this. I just want to fight the dude with some fisticuffs, okay? What are we going to do? What's the fight, man to man? No, I don't care. I want my time. And this is good. I'm ready to fight Volgin too, because I'm sick of this guy. Volgin, I really like as a villain, because there are some villains where, they're just not that great. Like a lot of Marvel villains, they're kind of just, they're a dude and they're evil, and they want to do evil things because, I don't know, their dad didn't love them enough, or somebody left them on a planet to die. I don't know. And then there are the villains where you love them almost like so much that you like want them to succeed. You're almost sad that they lose. Like Gary Oldman as Dracula in Bram Stoker's Dracula. Oh, there's the sorrow. It's like, don't worry, bro. I got you. I'm on your side. Yeah, sorry for the delay, alright. I only got 7 minutes left on those bombs. I planted bombs on the Shagohod, which is the early version of Metal Gear. And then there are the villains where you just, like, hate them so much, you just, like, want them gone. Like, of course, Umbridge from Harry Potter. And definitely Volgin. But he's better than Vamp. Vamp is just a guy where I just don't like him, and I'm not into him. I'm just like, can we just get this guy dead yet? Why does he have plot armor, right? He comes back for like 4 fights. Volgin, though, is a guy where I don't like him. He really messes with us, like he's an asshole. He's definitely a perv. He punches up Snake. He is the indirect cause of leading us to losing our eye. He hurts Eva. She's my girl. He's full of himself. He's a evil, right bastard. So it just makes me want to beat him, And this is what's interesting with Ocelot here. He's like, yo, bro, I'm gonna give you your stuff. Here, I want you to fight him properly. Oh yeah. And there's a lot of build up to this fight, the classic Ocelot gesture, right? Pretty good, eh? There's a lot of build up to this fight because he's beat us up quite a lot. We've seen him beat up people. We've seen him be evil. So, yeah. I feel like this cutscene is kind of the hint that you don't really want to use your guns as much. Alright, here we go. 5 minutes. Let's do this. So, the trick I knew with the fight going in was that after he attacks, you can, like, CQC throw him to the ground. And, nope, not like that, though. Nope, not like that either. Come on, me. Yeah, there's a trick in that you want to throw him to the ground. Like that. And then use a gun, and then shoot him point blank to get some damage in. Because if you have your gun out when you get hit by a blast, all of the bullets explode, you take extra damage, and then, you lose all your ammo. So here we go, he is now powered up. Come on, guy, let's get a move on. I don't got all day. So you can either dodge his attacks, and then wait for when the lightning subsides. That's the trick. Or you can also just simply shoot him after a lightning attack in a blind spot, like from behind. And this is where I realized I've been killing way too much time waiting for an attack. Like, bro, my time is limited here. We need to get a move on. And I'm pretty sure his bullet attack can be dodged simply by crouching. Oh, okay, well, that's bad. I honestly don't remember how I beat him the first time. Because here it seems like I'm just getting my shit wrecked in. And I can't seem to dodge this bullet attack, and he powers up before I can hit him. Like, this is, not going good. I've almost wasted 2 whole minutes, and I've done, like, no damage to him. I think we need to take a new approach to this strategy here. I don't know exactly. And then the bullets bounce. Like, nope. Isn't it funny how I went through the whole game, like, accidentally judo throwing people when I wanted to grab them, and now we get to it here, and now I can't seem to judo throw people? Like, this is bad news bears, Bilbo Baggins. I'm also confused as to why Ocelot has his own health and ammo bar here. Like, can you shoot him? There we go. That's a little more like it. Yeah, like, can you shoot him here and, like, turn against him and then he shoots you? I don't know exactly how it works, per se, but I don't feel we have enough time to test that out. And I found out stun grenades are not effective at all. And I'm just taking damage here. Alright, let's go. There we go. And shotgun. There we go. Now we're talking. I'm not sure exactly. But time's a wasting here. We're over halfway through my time and he is not even at half health. I think I was also playing it too safe by staying far away. You know, it's good old Dark Souls tactics. You want to stay close for after he does an attack. I'm like, come on, I need you to reuse your lightning, you know. Oh, man. Yeah, so he's a tricky fight, because, again, you can't really do the fight straight up direct, per se. Oh, my God. Not again. This is horrible. 90 seconds left, and he's not even at half health. What am I doing? I don't know if this is going to be the one. I feel like you can also just, like, shoot him when he lowers the lightning, but then again, it's kind of risky. You don't want to pull out a gun because, again, if you get hit, you'll lose all the ammo and your bullets will explode. Alright, 1 minute to go. Better, times the miracle. Miracle is what we need now. Oh, okay, phase 2. Here we go. Also, am I the only one that gets like a Crash Bandicoot vibe from the soundtrack for this bit? I don't know. I just feel like it. Something about it, and it's making me think of Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex, which was my personal favorite in the franchise, but or Warped. I like Warped too. I have a soft spot for Wrath of Cortex because it was the first one I played. And yeah, he made a promise to the boss. What was that promise? That not to kill Snake. I don't know, that bit where he was shooting us with guns, like, it seemed like he was trying pretty hard to kill us. Again, that's what I don't get. Does it make sense? I don't know. Like, if your plan was to not kill us, why were you shooting at us with bullets and having your guys shoot at us with bullets? That doesn't seem like a great strategy. Just saying, you know. It's fine. This game's awesome. I love it. It's my favorite. It's just so well paced. There's a good level of gameplay. Oh, now it's personal. No, my name's Colonel Kuwabara. Yeah. Find those bombs. Yeah, I'll think about it, you know, in my own time. Yeah, I also just like how as the game goes on, stealth is still important to an extent, you know, but like you can also brute force your way through it. I don't know, it's a good balance of everything. I just enjoy it. And yeah, the classic gesture, right? Pretty good. But yeah, and then like he is shooting at us with guns when we're escaping on the motorbike. I don't know, man. If your strategy was to help us, that doesn't seem like a good strategy. And oh goody, phase 2, and I have 1 minute left. And I'm pretty sure you dodged that attack by crouching. I'm not sure, but in any case, that did not work well. So yeah, maybe nope. And I got hit again. Okay, I'm gonna need a miracle if I want to pull this off in 30 seconds. Oh, that's where I realized, like, wait a minute, I don't need to throw him to the ground to shoot him. I can just shoot him. That's a good trick. And, yeah, if I just real quickly... There we go, there's another one, that's good. Oh, where'd you go? There you go. Uh-oh, 10 seconds. Guys, this is gonna be pretty close. I'm gonna need a miracle to pull this off. No, wait. That counts. Oh my god, I did it. Literally less than half a second left. We're keeping it clutch here. Remember when I clutch defused that bomb in Metal Gear Solid 2? I told you, man, that's nothing compared to some of the clutches I pulled out in this one. I killed the end with a cigarette. I killed Volgin with less than 1 second left. Even when I screwed up that final combo. I don't know how I pulled that off, but I guess I just decided to show up for the fight. So, yeah, now we have to make our grand escape from Volgin, who is going to be controlling the Shagohod next, because he's not dead yet. So now we have the big battle against the Shagohod, because it's never really over, you know. No one's ever really gone. Yep, all that about detonating the C3 amounted to nothing. And once again, the mechanical creature has a roar to it. And what's the line? It's not over yet. I realize playing the game, that's like every villain's favorite line. It's not over yet. Which is funny that there was the trophy in Metal Gear 2. It is over. I think we need to bring that trophy back a little bit more. So we have a big, epic chase with the Shagohod on the motorbike. But I'm not showing all of it because it is mostly just I'm on a motorcycle, I'm shooting guys with infinite ammo, right? We've got plenty of that here. Needless to say, it is a very fun segment. I just don't fully consider it part of the boss fight because, like, you can't fully damage the Shagohod, and it's not like it's part of it, you know, it's mainly a set piece bit. And we'll have plenty of footage to talk about the Shagohod, so. But needless to say, the whole escape, this is so epic. It's basically like if I'm playing Metal Gear Solid 3, I have to set aside like an entire evening for all of this because I don't want to like quit out at any point here. You know, it's like once we get to Groznygrad again. Alright, here we go. Yeah, once we get to Groznygrad, it's just like I've got to do the whole thing all at once. Like, can you imagine stopping partway through? Like, no, it's just how it is. So, yeah, just say the word when. Okay, closer. And let's go. Booyah. This is like the biggest refusal to die is Volgin and the Shagohod, but I really love that. Because Metal Gear Rex was like a 2-phase fight, and it was pretty clear from the first phase that like you didn't really beat it. And then you had the Metal Gear Rays, and you know, again, very clear, like you never really beat them. They basically just like sort of do their little tippy toe wander off sort of thing. But here, this I think is really like the biggest, baddest Metal Gear fight in the series, because this thing just, again, refuses to die. Like, he just keeps coming back. There's so many phases to it, and I love it. It really does feel like the big, epic boss. And it isn't even the final boss. Actually, no, Snake, it's not over yet. But that's what I love about it, you know, because then in Metal Gear Solid 4, you didn't really have actually a big final fight against a Metal Gear. You've got the Rex versus Ray fight, which is very fun. Total fan service, I love it. But that's not even in the final act. So, kinda disappointing in that regard, I gotta say. You see, it's not over. And again, we get that epic theme again. That's what's great also, is that Metal Gear Solid 3 has the main theme, which they dropped after this because of the whole plagiarism accusations, you know. Oh, that's nice. Also, this sneaking suit looks really good. I forget where I picked it up from, but I was just like, oh, this is a cool suit they had in there. And, oh, do I get a... Yeah, I got the kiss. Very nice. That's nice. Alright, let's do this. See, it's nice when you're doing this bit with the motorcycle, because you have infinite ammo. I don't know why, but apparently they fit a lot of ammo into that sidecar. But that's also what I love about Metal Gear, is they don't really bother with some of the logistics of it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Now, I did cut out a bit of footage here, because for a while I was indeed wasting my ammo. I forgot how to do this part, and I realized, oh, you gotta shoot the treads, so then you can get around him and then hit him at the weak point. That's the trick. Okay. And so then you can actually get, no. Hold on. Let me get around you. Let me hit you in your weak spot. Let me hit you in your weak spot. There we go. That's the spot. That hit the spot. Like, literally. Yeah, so, again, it's a very fun fight. It just goes so crazy and over the top. And I love it a lot. Again, there's a bit of a strategy to it, which is nice. And it just keeps going on throughout the game as it is, so that's good. You know, I think this one also did the best, like, just totally go berserk segment, because you don't really get that in Metal Gear Solid 1, per se. There's the turret segment at the end, but again, I didn't like that, because the aiming just feels all sorts of off there. And then Snake's the one who gets infinite ammo in Metal Gear Solid 2. You don't. So you just go berserk, but it's like a bunch of dudes shooting at you with guns, and I couldn't get the whole bullet dodge thing with the sword down properly. It just felt awkward. Not properly implemented, I think. So here it's just, again, motorcycle, infinite ammo, just give her, and it's awesome. And they brought this concept back for Metal Gear Solid 4, of course, which I enjoyed. Maybe a bit of an annoying segment, and just the sheer number of enemies that are thrown at you, but I think more people are complaining if you're trying to do it like non-lethal and on the hardest difficulty. You know, the game is expecting you to have like some kind of automatic gun so you can just spray and pray. You know, as opposed to this one where there's many ways you can approach it. I actually liked using the sniper rifle for it. And once again, it's not over yet. Again, funny how this guy's not even the main final boss of the game, yet he is the most persistent one. But I don't know, something about it, it never really felt tedious to me. It was like we fought him on the ground, and it was very clear we didn't beat him, and then, well, you know, it's a Metal Gear game, so we want to actually fight the big Metal Gear, which is the Shagohod, and then we have that epic chase sequence, which just kind of gets you thinking, like, what's going on? What are we doing? How do we beat this thing? And then we get to this segment here, which is really fun, and there's just like a lot of phases, and just keeps building on things. Now it's like, okay, now you've got to do the same fight, but this time you have to do it on foot, so you do have, you know, limited ammo, and also he's that susceptible to taunts, you know. Okay, I don't know Baldur's Gate 3, but there's that Raphael guy, and there's something about how he's not good in bed. Like, oh, you know, like that speech lasts longer than Raphael lasts in bed, or whatever it is. You know, I feel like this boss fight lasts longer than Volgin lasts in bed, probably. Because he's just sadistic person, and that's good for a villain, right? It really makes you hate him. And so here I'm pretty sure the strategy is the same, that you can't just shoot him, you have to like take out the treads again, and that's what weakens him. But you gotta lead those shots properly, right? Because again, your ammo supply is limited. Yeah, see, so that did nothing. I think you don't even need to use the rocket launcher. I think the sniper works just fine. And I don't know if the chaff did anything. Yeah, see, there we go. Yeah, I don't know if chaff did anything, but basically, to me, it's like the bread and butter hot sauce of Metal Gear. When in doubt, chaff. Usually that's the safe thing to pick, to use. Let's go. Nope, he's got a bullet shield. And there's rockets. And chaff is not activated, so that is some pretty good tracking on them. What do you know? Okay, I don't think this is it. Yeah. And again, I'm not sure how the healing works again in this. Like, I've heard it's like if you let injuries heal, like the healing in this game in terms of like getting more health is basically like the equivalent of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Because you see here now, my health is now almost the length of my stamina bar. And yeah, I think it's the more you let your wounds heal, the better. Oh, okay, that's some bad aiming. Come on. I don't know why I waited until then to attack him. That could have been better, but yeah, because you can heal your wounds like with the cure menu, but I guess sometimes you want to let them heal yourself, and that will build up your healing. Okay, so now we attack him, right? Yes, that's the trick. There we go. At first I was thinking, like, do you need to get on the other side of him again? And no, you can just shoot it until it dies. Classic move. Once you get into a rhythm like that, it's not too bad. Oh, missiles, that's bad. Yeah, so again, fun fight, and especially nice with Eva, because, at this point you're just like, oh, she's awesome, she's like the bestest person ever. We love her so much. And of course, she's secretly a double agent, again, taking one out from the books from Ocelot. I don't know what was going on there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of odd in that way. Yeah, so, I don't know how many times can I say it's a very fun, epic boss fight. Like, the music is big, the spectacle is there, it's, very fun and over the top, and thank you for the goodies. I also see there's an AA gun over there. Could we use those in the fight? I've never really bothered with that. I've just, again, shoot it until it dies. Nope. So I'm wondering, like, what am I doing wrong here? I can't recall exactly. Yeah, there's like little ways to it, and tips and tricks. How about that? Okay, that's something. Let's not lie down, though, right in the middle of the bullet stream, though. That's not really the best thing. Okay, we did it? Nope. And we got hit by missiles. But thankfully, this is not European Extreme. Ow. At this point, I'm just like, no, you've got 1 HP in a dream, and your dream is over. Yeah. So yeah, again, I love it how we went from like sneaking stealthily through the jungle, being wary of one random patrol unit, and now here we are in a motorcycle with a girl with her boobs out who's giving us kisses, and like destroying bridges and going down runways, and like mechs are destroying planes, blowing up left and right, and Ocelot's got his like bump stock, whatever it is, for his revolver. Like, yeah. And this is your problem, man. You forgot your little Kuwabara chant. And fried by a bolt of lightning coming up here, right? I'm pretty sure the implication is that the Sorrow did this with his powers, right? And there we go. That's a satisfying death. Fried by a bolt of lightning, lit on fire, and then his bullet belt explodes around him while he is strapped to the Shagohod. Yeah, that's a very nice villain death. I'm trying to think if that's the best one. Liquid Ocelot. Sorry, Liquid. He just kind of dies from Fox Die, which I'm still not sure how that works. Like, he can have a punch fight and do all these things, and then at the end he dies. I don't know. And then there was Solidus. We just, shish kebabbed him. It was alright, I guess. This is a very satisfying villain death. Same with Liquid Ocelots in Metal Gear Solid 4. And, oh, who saw the Sorrow? I did. And hugs and explosions. It's nice. What a lovely way to end the game. But once again, it's not over yet. Because you have a whole other chase sequence to do with the bike, and then there's the Eva escort section, which some people say is like really crazy difficult. I didn't really have too much of a problem with it personally. I think some people forget there's a button to call Eva to you. That's the action button, which is triangle. I didn't really have much of a problem with it personally. I went through a lot of ammo, but then I got all that ammo back right away. Like, there was no real shortage of it. And then once you get past that first bit where like the guys are coming up right behind you, then you just have another segment, which is just a regular stealth bit. You can just tell her to chill and wait. And I always made sure I was like full on all the food I had, so that I didn't have to worry about running out of stamina. And yeah. And here we go. We've made it to the wig, the plane. Which I think it's funny, Eva, I need you. Say that again. I need you, Eva. I can't pilot the wig by myself. Oh, I see. Yeah, but of course there is one last thing we've got to take care of course, and that is the final confrontation with the boss. And again, I love this final battle because it's one that the game has literally been building up the whole game to, and you almost might feel like at this point, like, is it even possible? Like, she's wrecked us literally every time she shows up and beats us up, and then that's it. Can we even do that? I don't know, but we don't really have a choice now. We're gonna have to find out, and that's what leads us to here. Big white field of flowers, and the boss has just fired off the other nuke that she stole with the Davy Crockett, which she used to destroy Groznygrad, I believe. Put an end to all of it. And it's funny how this basically has set the stage for, the boss fight in a field of white flowers. That has also become a signature of the FromSoft games, right? Because we had the Gehrman fight in the white flowers, and again, he's like your mentor. And then, who else do we have? Not exactly Melania, but there are white flowers around in that area. Genichiro Ashina and Ishin Ashina, Sword Saint in Sekiro, of course. Was there any boss fight in a field of white flowers in Dark Souls 3? Can't remember now off the top of my head. I guess maybe Champion's Grave Tender? I don't know if that counts. But yeah, that's basically how it is, an emotional fight against someone in a field of white flowers is Metal Gear Solid 3 vibes. And, I love this because at a point you should have kind of figured out, like, okay, something's up with the boss, right? Like, she's had many chances to kill us, and she hasn't, and she's kind of secretly helped us out here and there. Oh, Russia and America be enemies in the 21st century? Yeah, you're wrong about that. Oops. Yeah, because the boss, essentially, she's not necessarily loyal to country per se, as it is herself and her mission. And what's the mission? Well, peace on Earth, right? And that's what she's being loyal to, is the idea that she needs to die as the scapegoat to avoid a potential all-out nuclear war between the Americans and the Russians, right? Because they needed to cover up for the fact that Volgin used one of the nukes that the boss stole to destroy Sokolov's old research facility. And therefore she's been the scapegoat for that, and she knows the mission, but she can't tell you, because then you might hesitate. You need to think that she's evil. And the philosophers, right, the legacy, the idea of like all the countries united, pooling their funds together, right? And it was the philosopher's legacy in this one, and then it becomes the patriots later on. And again, this is secretly the origins of the patriots, but they just didn't tell us, right? And yeah, the boss, she has had one kid before, who is, of course, Ocelot. And she gave birth to him, I think, in Normandy in World War II. And the Sora was the father, and then she went into space as, like, one of those test monkey, right? Lab rat, first monkey shot into space, art demands sacrifice. And the cosmic rays she was exposed to means that she can, no longer bear children. And again, my fan cast for her is still Kate Blanchett, of course. Love it. But, okay, the monologue is nice, but now we need to get on with the fighting, And that's the thing with this is you don't want to fight the boss, but you have to. You have no choice. So now we have 10 minutes. 10 minutes to take down the boss. The 10 greatest minutes of our lives. And unfortunately, she taught me everything, but she did not teach me how to counter CQC. There is a way, I know, when she attacks you, if you have to, like, press either the CQC or the action button at the right time, and then you can, like, parry her and then CQC her back, which I feel is, like, the lore proper way to do this fight. But unfortunately, I did not know how to do that, so you'll see the tactic I resorted to. But it was also a clutch one. And again, interesting how the boss is such an influential character that, she essentially sets up for what's going to be the rest of the series, like her fight with Snake here becomes like, the main driving force for the other games, and I know that, like, that's part of both Portable Ops and Peace Walker. And yeah, you're a soldier, prove your loyalty. Here we go. Best final boss ever. So that's where I'm like, what do I nope. Okay. That's not how we do it. What do I do? Yeah, so definitely a bit of an embarrassing start. I found the best trick was to go stealth and then wait until I had a shot on her, because just didn't seem to work. Also, the camera was very weird for me here, because, like, I had it third person the whole game, and then here it's like it's not a proper third person. And I don't know if that's to do with the nature of the fight, but I think that really messed me up for the first bit. And, I got it right somehow there. I only did like 3 damage. And you definitely cannot outgun her, because she will just do a bullet storm on you, because she's the one with infinite ammo. Yeah. This is where I was like, okay, I need to figure out a strategy. The camera in this fight was really messing with me, and I I really didn't like it. I feel like that was definitely a big thing. And this is where I was like, oh, yeah, she like takes your gun and dismantles it and shoots me afterwards. Like, yeah, that is bad. Okay, I'm gonna need that back. Nope, that doesn't work either. What am I doing? And she threw away all my ammo. Yeah, so definitely not a great start to this. That's for sure. All right, let's reassess, shall we? Let's just think about this logically, you know. Also, now we get to the end of the game and my health has increased to the full amount, so that is good. So the strategy I went with... Oh, no, not that. I did not mean to do that. Where is she at? The strategy I eventually went with was to use the sniper rifle and the thermal goggles, you know, the old reliable. So, sorry boss if this does not count as a honorable victory. But I'm just creeping around to feel the flowers and... Oh, shoot, we've been spotted. Again, I know there's like a way to like switch the camera between like the old and new one, but I was doing that and it wasn't working. So I don't know. Okay, there we go. Got a little bit in there. That's good. Better than nothing. Yeah, so what makes the boss such a great fight? Well, it's difficult, of course. No, not again. Okay, see, I did it there. I don't know if I was just spamming the button. I managed to make it work a couple of times, but I didn't feel it was like a reliable method. Would have been cool if I did. Ooh, sniper rifle bullets. Those will come in handy. Yeah, why is she one of the best fights? Well, again, there's like a big emotional connection between our two characters here, and he kind of has a thing for her, but is it like a romance thing, or is it more like a mentor thing or a mother thing? It's kind of kept deliberately a little vague. Like, you could interpret it one way or the other, but you know, it's like he's like, oh, I really care for her, but it's not like, you know, like romantic love per se, but it kind of is. I like that, you know, it's not just as explicit as, you know, I have the hots for you. So that is good. So it's built up over the whole game. There's a time limit that makes it more intense. Really does make you feel like you're using everything you've learned, because stealth actually is... Oh, god damn it. Stealth actually is a vital part of this fight. Oh god, there we go again. Pretty much all of your weapons can come into play in good ways here or there. And it's got the fun extra mechanic of being able to dodge the CQC and counter her. You know, really makes you feel like you've remembered some of the basics of CQC, right? So I like that. Could you... over there? Where did you go? Oh, she's to my right, but I don't notice her. I think we're gonna find out the hard way, which way she went. No, oh, well, that sucks. 5 minutes, and I've barely gotten her down to half health. And, this is what I like about this bit here is that, I mean, you can't hear it, of course, because I'm not putting in the game audio, but the Snake Eater theme starts fading in as like a way of building the intensity. You know, we started off with just nothing but white noise, and now there's an instrumental version of the theme that fades in, and then eventually, after one repetition of that, we get the vocal version of it. So I like that. But yeah, this was the strategy I ended up going with, and great, I got. Maybe if I had like done my camo a little differently to better account for the oh, where are you now? Oh, there's goodies over there. I want the goodies. Maybe if I'd done the camo better to, yeah, account for like where we were in terms of camouflage, but I was like, nah, like I don't want to end up having like some weird face paint or camo on for the rest of the cutscenes, right? So we're just gonna go with the new sneaking suit and the classic Splinter face paint. Oh, this is bad. Okay, well maybe if I... Nope. Nope, she spotted me. Okay, we can do this. I can do this. Half health. And I just got a refund on my ammo. I wonder if that respawns, because I think that was the second time I picked it up. I don't know. Oh, did I? Nope, that doesn't count. God damn it. Yeah, so maybe I did not master the basics of CQC, but I did master the art of that stealth is a vital part of Metal Gear Online for most players. And oh, there's a snake there. Okay, I don't want you to bite me. Can we get the snake, please? No, we'll fine, just as long as he doesn't bite me. That would be good. And where'd you go now? I think at this point some of them always said, like, why don't you use the thermal goggles? Like, oh, of course, use the thermal goggles. I'm an idiot. Why didn't I think about that? Oh, oh, I see you. And now this is where, oh, not again. There's nothing I can do here. She just really gets you there. And now this is where the vocals have faded in, so now the song proper is going, right? What a thrill. What a thrill indeed. Oh, okay, that sounds like she's to my left. Oh my god. Maybe I've not mastered the elements of stealth. So yeah, maybe this is not the greatest 10 minutes triumphant battle she was hoping for, but I finished my mission and did my job. She did a really good job, like, taking off elsewhere, you know? At some point past me who recorded this video is going to remember the use of the thermal goggles. There we go. I also like the detail of, like, the flower petals turning red as you're fighting. So that is good too. But I feel like this song is getting close to its end. There we go. Good. This is like the someday you grow on the tree, feed on a tree frog line here. Yeah, so again, I know I could have done this a little better, but I'll take it. It's a very emotional fight, and it makes me not want to do it, especially knowing, like, everything else that's going to come as a result of this fight, you know? Like, you can really see that boss has become the villain later, and we've only got 1 more minute to go. There we go. Thermal goggles for the win. Well, I probably just need, like, 1 more good burst of sniper rounds on her, so I just need to find where she is, and I only have 1 sniper bullet left. This is bad. This will not be enough to take her out. Okay. The song's about to end. Let's see. Oh, 30 seconds left. Oh, great. What am I going to do? I don't have a sniper rifle left. I'm almost out of this. Okay. Well, wait. Let's just see if she... Okay, there, we damaged her. Oh my god, are you kidding me? 1 HP in a dream. The song's about to end. There's no choice. Okay, spray and pray for the win. Just let me hit something here. And... did it. Again, for reference, you can't hear it, but, like, that was literally the final bullet was at the big final da, 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 and then the snake eater. So again, clutch is what we do. That was, like, about as clutch of a fight as we could get it. I can't believe she almost won with the 1 HP in a dream. And there we go. Take this. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Oh yeah, don't worry. I will take good care of that, and it will totally not fall into anybody else's hands. That's for sure. And so, that I have to remember, so... Oh, Patriot. Infinite ammo. Is the Philosopher's Legacies. We have this here, but, like, this one was a fake the whole time, and Ocelot had the real one, but he only had half of it, because I'm actually playing Portable Ops right now. I'm giving that one a try, because some people have said that it's underrated. So I'm giving that one a try, but I'm not going to do a video on it. It's not really much for boss fights, and here we go. With unloaded hesitation, have we all all become invisible. And this is the bit here where, yeah, the game makes you do it. So you just have to do one last shot. There it is. Sadness. I really didn't want to, man. I didn't want to. And it's also, this is a game that really is rewarding to play it the second time to see all the details and know what's all going on. And now it's a field of red, and what has been done cannot be undone. And so that is it. Yeah, it's a very, very sad moment indeed. And then, yeah, that's it. Again, this is like the beginning of Big Boss's descent into potentially becoming the villain of his own story, but I think that's the thing that people didn't like about Metal Gear Solid 5. They feel that they kind of bollocksed that up, because you can be a bad guy, but you don't even be that bad, and then you're not even Big Boss anyway, so like his whole potential villainous journey is not there. And now the thing I'm wondering is like, wait a minute, so I heard this talk of Metal Gear 1 and 2 not being canon, and that the big boss you fight in that was actually Venom Snake. But then I just finished Metal Gear Solid 4, and when you meet Big Boss in that one, he talks about, oh yeah, you beat me specifically in Metal Gear 2, and they had to like reconstruct my body and keep me comatose with nanomachines that finally awakened me once JD was defeated. And, you know, that's why they skinned Solidus alive, so that they could put his skin onto my body or something like that. So, I don't know, but anyway, Metal Gear Solid 3. Very sad ending, very emotional, one of the best final boss fights in a game ever, and just one of the best stretches. Again, it's like, it's impossible for me to put the game down once we're at this point onwards. And here we go, this is some very Apocalypse Now vibes, you know. They were gonna make me a war hero for this, and I wasn't even in their fucking army anymore. And this is the big scene, of course, that was subject to the Duran Duran song, Invisible, which is great. It's also weird to see all of the characters here, like Zero, Paramedic, and Sigint, because we've only seen them through radio conversations. And yeah, so it's a great edit, and I'm glad that song's getting, you know, some more popularity amongst the Metal Gear fans, because it is a good song. And it's funny that it's memed, but like, you know, it's like one I can get behind, right? Like, if it was a bad song, I'd be annoyed. And here we go. This is like the ultimate insult. You're above even the boss, so you are the big boss, right? And I like that there's a hidden first-person mode here, where you can see that Ocelot is apparently just hanging around in a Spetsnaz uniform on Capitol Hill, and there you go. You're pretty good. Snake's like, there's nobody seeing this. No? Yep. And for him, this is like the ultimate insult right now. He's just so dead inside, right? And, you know, the voiceless crowd isn't backing down. Have we all become invisible? I'm sorry, Snake, you deserved better than this. It is funny, though, how we, you know, 3 main games in, technically like 5 or 6 games in, we actually get to the look that we were going for with, you know, Snake Plissken from Escape from New York. Snake doesn't get the eye patch here until this one, and then he doesn't get, you know, Solid Snake doesn't ever get the eye patch until he's Old Snake. And, you know, there's a couple of little, you know, prequel-esque lines here, which are nice. It doesn't feel so forced, like it makes sense. Again, that's the beauty of this game, is you can play it as a prequel to the other ones, or you can play it as just like one to get into the franchise, and I think it works both ways, because that's how I did it, and I loved it, and it was good. And this is, of course, the big reveal of all what is going on, because you see, turns out, right? Yeah. Everything was going according to plan. The whole point is that the boss was supposed to defect to Russia to get Sokolov to stop Volgin. But after she defected, he fired one of the nukes. And, or she was also supposed to get the Philosopher's Legacy, right? So therefore it had to be revised that the boss would be the one, like, yes, I did it. Basically, she's pulling a Batman at the end of The Dark Knight, right? I killed those people. I did it. It was me. I'm whatever this city needs me to be. Not the hero it needs, but the one it deserves, right? And so, therefore, that's what we had to do, is our mission was to defeat the boss. And she knew what was going on, but we had to do it. So again, it really recontextualizes the whole game. And very tragic, and there's this very Amazing Grace style rendition of the theme that is great. And is she doing this because the country says so, or is she doing it because she knows it's the only way to secure the world peace, right? Because she had the will to do it. And this is what kind of starts to set Big Boss down that path. And here we go. It's the graveyard scene that ends the game, and this is hard to rank, but perhaps one of the most emotional scenes in the entire franchise, just a very nice thematic way to tie it together, between the great score and Eve's narration, just the real dead inside look on Big Boss's face. And I promised myself I will not get emotional here, but I'll try. But the score is great. The fact that Eva starts even cracking up a little in her narration. The fact that this also becomes the main centerpiece for Metal Gear Solid 4. And I'm thinking the beginning and ending of Saving Private Ryan, and that's making me emotional. And dude, you shouldn't just leave this badass gun here. Can I have it, please? No. And yeah, that's why, it's one of the best heroic sacrifices that she had to make. Right? This is in memory of a true patriot who saved the world. No one will know what she did, but we will know who it was. She was the Batman. Or she was the boss, right? And here we go. This is, pour one out for the boss, pour it out for Big Boss, right? Everything she did for her country, for herself, because she wanted to save the world, and she did her job properly. She was a real hero. She was a true patriot, and there we go. Final salute, and straight up, man tears, and I'm totally fine right now. I'm not getting emotional at this. There's also one hidden POV there where you can see Snake's vision gets foggy as he cries. Yeah, he's a single tear kind of person. Music fades out, and we get one final timeline, which typically I don't pay attention to because I'm too busy trying not to cry, because it's a very emotional moment. But this is the interesting thing, is this timeline here is your hint, essentially, that everyone became a patriot, right? A paramedic, the Singed became DARPA chief in Metal Gear Solid 1. Zero became the head of the Patriots instead of the Philosophers, and they came up with a new thing to create the ultimate super soldier, which was in 1972, the Les Enfants Terribles project. And what is that exactly? Well, it means that the sons of Big Boss are born. Ooh, okay then, what could that all be about? Well, we'll be seeing that in future games, of course. And what would it be without a post-credits scene and a phone call of sorts? And of course, it's going to be one from Ocelot, of course, because he was behind it all. But, I'm not going to go into all details about this, but basically he reveals that he was, like, again, a perverse quadruple agent. He was playing both sides against the other. Like, he was the other NSA codebreaker defector. He was Adam. And he even says his name's like Adamachav or Adamalshev. I don't remember his full name, but he says it, right? And that's what's funny is that, again, it should have been right there. Like, you were supposed to meet Adam there, and Ocelot shows up there. And he's not actually truly tried to kill you, per se, because most of those times when he goes to load a gun, it's with a blank in it. And that's why he was there to meet you, but instead Eva met you there. And again, it was right in front of you that Eva was not who she says she is, because she never says the password, right? Who are the Patriots? Lalelulelo. And, that joke only really works in Japanese because they don't really pronounce the L sounds that much, right? So it would sound a little odd for them to say, like a tongue twister, perhaps. And yeah, I guess that whole thing about, Eva getting the Philosopher's Legacy to give to China doesn't matter because he had the whole thing all along. Only half the money. Okay. Yeah, Portable Ops deals with the other half. Which again, I'm going to play, but I'm not going to do a video on, just for the story. Same thing with Peace Walker. That's how I feel about that one. Just going to play it to play it. But there'll be a video on some of Metal Gear Solid 5, per se, Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's a very longer call at the end. And yeah, from Grannon, he was the guy who designed the other new one, what becomes Metal Gear, right? We had Grannon, and then Huey Emmerich, and then Hal Emmerich. Yeah, very good stuff. So yeah, it's kind of fun that way, like again, she had the Chinese pistol, of course, but you were all too busy staring at her boobs to notice the very obvious red flags. But yeah. Anyway, so we should be wrapping this one up soon because we're getting to the end, so thank you all for watching. Triple crossing, okay, so he's a triple agent. God dang it. Yeah, we'll have Metal Gear Solid 4 and 5 videos. Nobody knew he was Adam all along. Okay. Yeah, so good game again. Metal Gear Solid 3, great game. Maybe just outside my top 5. But we'll have to, reassess that. Mr. Director. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, what a twist. And of course, what was my final rank for this game? It was, drumroll please, Crocodile. In a while, Crocodile. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed that, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good night.